This case is terrifying and unforgettable, and if you want to learn more about other similar cases like this, be sure to stay tuned, because I will bring you the most frightening mysteries and true crime stories that'll keep you up all night. Now, let's dive into this terrifying tale. The year was 1991. The setting, the seemingly idyllic town of Tomahawk, Wisconsin. This close-knit community of roughly 8,000 nestled amidst the picturesque landscapes of northern Wisconsin seemed like the quintessential safe haven. Picture a typical American town with tree-lined streets, friendly neighbors, and a strong sense of unity. It was a place where doors were left unlocked and children played freely, a testament to its tranquil nature. Ellen Burrows, a resident of Tomahawk for over 20 years, was deeply rooted in this community. Ellen, a retired school teacher, was not just an educator, but a beloved figure. Her impact went beyond the classroom. She was known for her warmth, kindness, and her dedication to making a difference in the lives of her students and peers. A woman of routine, she was well known for her love of the local club on Lake Tomahawk. For Ellen, the club was more than just a social spot. It was a hub of friendship and relaxation. There she would unwind with her friends, enjoying good company and a good drink. On the evening of September 26, 1991, Ellen had plans to meet her friends at the club. Little did she know that this ordinary night would take a sinister turn, and she would never return home. As the sun began its descent and shadows stretched across the town, Ellen got ready for a relaxing evening at the club. Perhaps she hummed a tune as she put on her favorite dress, or maybe she recalled funny anecdotes of the day. These mundane details are now forever lost to time, replaced by the chilling mystery of what happened next. At approximately 9:45 p.m., Ellen stepped out of her house, ready for a fun night with friends. The last confirmed sighting of Ellen alive occurred when she was seen leaving the club around 10:30 p.m. Friday night, and she had every intention of having a good time. But what happened after she left the club is where the story takes a harrowing twist. Hours passed, then more hours went by, yet Ellen didn't come home. Her family grew concerned, and her friends started wondering. They called the local authorities, who launched a search, but found no trace of her. Days turned into a week. The worry turned into dread, and the hope of finding Ellen alive began to dwindle. As Tomahawk woke up on October 2, 1991, the search for Ellen intensified. By this point, the community was fully engaged. Volunteers joined law enforcement in combing through every possible location. Friends and relatives put up missing persons posters with Ellen's smiling face, hoping for a quick resolution to the mystery. And then came the break in the case. Or so everyone thought. On October 3rd, Ellen's car was found abandoned on a dirt road just outside the city limits. Relief washed over the town. Maybe Ellen had just run away. This possibility eased the fears of the worst-case scenario, but quickly turned to confusion when Ellen's handbag was found tossed carelessly into a nearby field. The bag contained nothing. There was no sign of struggle, no indication of foul play, only an eerie emptiness that amplified the mystery. To make matters even more perplexing, Ellen's mobile phone showed activity at approximately 12:15 a.m. near Highway 17, more than 30 miles away from where her car was located. This piece of the puzzle seemed to defy logic. What was Ellen doing so far away? Was this a random occurrence, or a crucial clue to her whereabouts? Captain George Matthews, the stoic leader of the investigation, scrutinized each detail. He had seen his share of challenging cases, but this one was different. The pieces of the puzzle simply didn't fit together. He knew in his gut that something sinister was at play here. A review of the town's few surveillance cameras revealed a haunting image. A few minutes after Ellen left the club, a nondescript old Cadillac was seen trailing her. The car followed her all the way to the dirt road where her vehicle was eventually found. The car's license plate, however, was blurred, providing no clear lead. In the days following Ellen's disappearance, the police interviewed dozens of people close to her. They gathered in the cozy living rooms of Ellen's friends, poring over every aspect of her life. The picture that emerged was of a beloved, friendly woman with no apparent enemies. Everyone who knew her was baffled by the tragedy. Why would anyone want to harm her? There was, however, a single, unsettling incident from 5 years prior that hinted at a potential motive. Ellen had testified against a young man named Danny Smith. After he had harassed a co-worker, despite being acquitted, Danny bore a deep resentment towards Ellen. In the eyes of the law, he was innocent, but in the court of public opinion, he was seen as a troubled young man capable of violence. This was the only lead the police had, a loose thread in the tapestry of Danny's life. When the police visited Danny's rundown cabin on the edge of the forest, they hoped to find answers. What they found instead was a trove of darkness. The interior of the cabin was messy, filled with trash and a pervasive sense of decay. Amidst the clutter, they discovered a tattered notebook filled with hateful rants. Each page was a testament to Danny's bitterness, each word a nail hammered into the coffin of hope. Ellen's name was mentioned repeatedly, often accompanied by chilling veiled threats. The entries dated back months, chronicling Danny's descent into a vortex of anger and despair. While the journal provided a disturbing insight into Danny's psyche, it wasn't enough to directly link him to Ellen's disappearance. The police needed concrete evidence, a solid connection to proceed further. Days turned into a week, and the case seemed to be hitting a wall. Just when hope was beginning to dwindle, a glimmer of a break appeared. A local farmer, plowing an abandoned field, stumbled upon a freshly dug pit. The discovery sent a chill down the spines of the investigators. Hope surged as they realized the possibility of finding Ellen. With a mix of anticipation and dread, the officers descended into the pit. What they saw was both heartbreaking and horrifying. Ellen's body lay before them, showing signs of brutal violence. The sight was a grim confirmation of the worst fears. Ellen had been brutally taken from her life, her dreams, and her loved ones. Forensic analysis revealed tiny fibers inside the pit that matched the inner lining of an old Cadillac, providing a crucial link between the car and the crime scene. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, leading the investigators closer to the truth. With the evidence mounting against him, Danny Smith's facade crumbled under the weight of the truth. Confronted with irrefutable proof, he finally broke. In a desperate attempt to alleviate his guilt, he confessed to the heinous crime. He detailed how he had stalked Ellen for weeks, consumed by a twisted desire for revenge. He explained how he had lured her out of town under a false pretense, only to abduct and murder her. Danny's confession was a chilling narrative of hate and despair. It painted a picture of a tormented soul driven to madness by perceived injustice. He described how Ellen's testimony had ruined his life and how he had plotted his revenge meticulously. Every word was a step deeper into the abyss of his disturbed mind. The news of Danny's confession sent shockwaves through the town. The community, which had rallied together in hope of a positive outcome, was now grappling with the harsh reality of the situation. The friendly face from the club, the beloved teacher from the local school, was gone, taken by a monster who lived among them. The trial that followed was filled with heart-wrenching details and shocking revelations. Horrifying new details emerged during the trial, painting a grim picture of Ellen's final moments. It was revealed that Danny had used a fake story about his sick child to lure Ellen out of town. He had then overpowered her and forcibly put her into the trunk of his car. The premeditation, the calculated cruelty, it was all too much for the community to bear. In the end, justice was served. Danny Smith was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. The sentence brought a sense of closure to the community, a feeling that the monster who had taken Ellen away had been contained. But the story doesn't end there. Today, over 3 decades later, the echoes of this case still resonate. Danny's abandoned cabin still stands at the edge of the forest, a rotting, silent witness to one of the darkest crimes that ever shattered the peace of small-town America. The picturesque town of Tomahawk, once known for its tranquility, now carries a haunting footnote in its history books. The memory of Ellen Burrows, the beloved teacher, lives on, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk in the hearts of men. This case serves as a stark reminder of the evil that can dwell in the human heart and the lengths to which a twisted sense of revenge can drive a person. The idyllic setting of Tomahawk only makes the crime more haunting, showcasing that such horrors can strike even in the most unexpected places.